Kwesi, mpacho brem.
Kwame.
Yes, Kwesi.
Mr. Sen, be chima drink a crow.
Hare.
Chima drink, because politicians, mint, yes,
Hare.
Yes, Kwame, me know, ye name say, so who share Ghana and she say, yeah, what? Bank of Ghana is supposed to be independent of government.
Supposed.
Exactly.
Supposed, but is it?
The Bank of Ghana, according to our laws, regulations, and so on, does not take instructions from government. When it comes to its operations, it is independent or supposed to be independent. And in your politicians, say, yeah, breso, ekoye, muma breso, ankoye, yeah, breso, ankoye, muma breso, ekoye, ni adiano. Politicians, one catch is a such share or woman this one. Woman catch.
Oh, that's obvious. Woman this.
And see, I adhere to Musa share, ya said that ye send your bay, sika some bekoye. Politicians in this one, ya adhere to Musa.
Woman this.
And the engine to Musa as woman.
Menka say engine to Batamun this.
And the Kwame, I said, maybe in the make.
Woman this question.
Say, parties meaning now. And she say, yes, say, and fan free sika some Bank of Ghana and fan regulatory sika some there, the woman is so dear. And I hear sorry, name quay, I said, maybe.
Only say a press conference or send a Bank of Ghana, but majority of parliament in the here, and a minority should be to go into.
Because the Bank of Ghana is supposed to be independent.
But is it?
Say independent there, and the Monfasum Bomb and you for Quayaco. And only hear me decline. I did decline pay him. Master near Tosumi, maybe I beg say tree casa, and I say a casa. Now some say a mood, a mupi. I can't keep a boy. Kwame, when in it. When it is a media,
just best.
Nana Kumiankwan and the near Kaina Sankwa. Oh, okay. Bakwami, what is it? And was free and who free, not yet Manesica.
Yeah.
Now, Sikana Menano, Midibi Quacoto. Spectacles, much as any bear meet me a car, dear. I don't know a cabo.
Let me saw the boy in you.
Ain't he? Sagana, my yesica, Yakopesica, I call it my dear Conestica. Near say, I dear way, anyway, near dear, a person at this Sicano yo. Nasi a discano call you are. Then a yaka. I can't say, Ebia, I call to mobile phone with the FFA down chain. Wakoto ni 10 cities. No waton na wanya 10 cities, no wabenya 2 cities. Yes, waboka. Na waninye, ukoto space, this space na wakoto no, ebo no yedibi aka ho. Sa na ton no wakoto. Osi maboka, uboka saying. Awon ni tiase a enye yi papa. Enti akana yesi ya bono. Your board na no yes your board in no yen church mu ni hu se e car ya bo enye sika ye de akoya de a ya dwene mu e hia se ye de koyo na ye de akoyo na enya hu faso. That's my problem.
Question bisa asem.
Pacho put me bisa.
Kana Bank of Ghana board 2023-2022 debe na kan won. Oh, so we need to be Google into the Google now. So what? Who hear them Google like that? Who am say them na
me kai pa see me can't be pa and say Bank of Ghana no. You see, we be release sika into the economy.
Omo boka 20 debe na kan work.
Pacho.
Some we are now.
Omo here parliamentary approval.
Yes.
Bank of Ghana and parliamentary approval. And omo release sika e borrow so
5%.
A good economy, and no be na mekan.
Yes.
And anyaka a failment to follow regulations, failure to follow constitutional provisions and so on.
But I can't one count.
I mean, different from a car.
Yes.
So I think it's important to separate the two.
Mention now can FI can.
Catcher me.
Now there now can fire independence no. Bank of Ghana independence.
Me tiwe. So me na me Ghana me my Bank of Ghana independence. Because Bank of Ghana no obian to a bank yi governor. So ombeye yisika semaya ya baya ya to ababa no a onu na hwe yisika sem so Bank of Ghana independent. In principle no I don't support that idea. In principle I don't. But however, enu ni mbra ye di aduma sisi. Me madwin no nya no na di aduma. This is the order today.
Kwesi, interestingly, you know, yes, page 12 of Ghanaian Times. Now, page 12 of Ghanaian Times, so maybe another voice say, Professor Ebo Teñsion, or your economist, University of Ghana, or say the losses recorded by the Bank of Ghana in its 2025 financial results contributed to broader economic stability. Ono so na drink channel.
Kwame, we dey meba ho, medu ho. Me kika ba medu ho yina.
Okay.
Kwame, enti e kana ese ya board me nti ase da. Ele se se meti ase a enye yi.
Okay.
But Masa Kwame mpacho me sre bisa.
Metie.
Anopa metro han makan Joe Jackson, your kind. Na empenifo bebre nyom ka zi akwa working kind baako. Kwame ye miensa ye ti he wuka ho enan.
Yeah.
Ye do control Bank of Ghana. No more receipts ni na ye sua begu anim. Ye sua more receipts, one more expenditure ni ade na ye sua begu anim. Se kire se omu nyamfaso adan so omu nyamfaso bitimi a kire.
Me hu ye.
Me meti he me hu ye.
Enya badwuma.
And if there is such a dispute, how is the dispute resolved? Me imagine Kebani sir MPP for say can 44 billion, NDC about 16 billion and so on. Why? Parliament wo ye dey. Parliament emrehye bedwam. Ana kese wo mu tena ho no hwehwe wo mu a wo mu nim die kokan financial and audit firm and I say institution be a work credibility. Say kohwe mu na be ka kire eni ehu no kura wo. Na ne ye politicians sorry say 16, politicians be sorry say 30, politicians be sorry say 44 and so on. How do we arrive at the empirical evidence? It would not establish the truth. It would not establish the facts. Nti se penukura no pa hu a say ade no etisanya let parliament take appropriate action, credible institution between proper auditing and so on, and that's what review auditing na Bank of Ghana for so moye no near fan beto no be hu say nukure ni
na the same parliament na NDC MPP.
But beyond parliament, what other institution do you have? And your parliament be credible financial and audit institution. No munya o mo report do mo fan beto ni hu fili gani ni hu nukure wo. What's our name?
Kajere.
Me as someone de bia me kan akwa me wo so na me fa so ye me dancing ni.
Me
So me sa GDP per capita income ni sa ni no me fa nya gba kwa me say wo do say de bia me sa na me ka. Titi nye ne.
O kan ya che.
Me kan ya che. E san say putoka sebo no. Eno no ye statistical average. Statistical average, no, okay, now boom now divided by a certain factor. No, it hides the true nature. And for example, say a banner say veteran say can say, oh, I feel per capita income no so much. On channel. What does it actually mean? Because for all you know, 1% of the population can contribute to an over 100% increase in per capita income when 99% do not benefit from it. It means find that tuma. Anunti and a 2000 year campaign, President Kufuor said, show bottom
was sitting
mo bottom ni na kisi okro na onam che no enu ne hia enti me statistical averages no me shut down fanya dwuma. But the reality is that Omaya Iwomi and many other nations across the world, institutions for what? When we just calculations now, yadi gauge nyoma. Me fan gauge nyoma, but yadi gauge nyoma. One of those institutions here, Ghana Statistical Service. Every month, Omuya report. 6 months, Omuya report. 1 year, Omuya report. And in the BSI report, you know, my year now, the figures are brand new. Figures, let's challenge the figures on a scientific basis. And I'm sorry. One more because this inflation, you say, I'm 3.3, yeah, and maybe 3.5, but figure me 3.3%. And you be a nukra na say nukra. Say nukra, it is so easy to calculate. Again, I'm going to go basket now, I'm going to calculate inflation. What are the indices you use and so on? We can have that empirical scientific argument. And then near Gumoni Masi. Professors Ekukudamuya who Kinkan Wamu and Yoma Makikan in Matronia.
Yeah.
They are not challenging the inflation figures, are they?
No, they are not
challenging. Institutions I can see what Ghana almost economy, Legon, University, the Obian challenging the rate of inflation. And the rate of inflation is a dear Juma, and not necessarily a dear Juma. Of course, you can the rate of inflation is reducer. I don't just a biara walk off from average as usual and so on. Into your kind of say, na ka yako yenim. Masa Kwame.
Kwesi.
Pacho. Share a dollar ni cedi no. About former bidu 10 cedis.
9 plus crap.
Okay, 10 cedis to $1. Asan page abiem.
Yeah.
No credit. Fili. No credit da ho wo ye ho hwe nye ye. Asan page abiem. So say na meti tin say apartment ho. Wa nya e be kosuru biem. Onam che no. Identity na akoba no sa. Me madwene mu. Me class one adwene mu no a me dwen no. Kwame.
Kwesi.
Economy no. Economy na na say o man ni sika samu no. Sometimes the driving factor is commodity prices. Me who say American actually, but the driving factor is commodity prices. And you say, oh, manage economy no. That's the indications no start to say show positive signal. Bisa who say at the end of this are positive signal over. So commodity prices there in the day. It sounds like commodity prices are unpredictable. BBS here a bit necessary. Yeah. Afghanistan will be contributed one year na commodity prices na consistent. A Strait of Hormuz it means some commodity prices and so on.
Yeah.
And the commodity prices no normally and that there I say you jina so pampi edi boy hon sabrane and I say idibu attain etie nipa. Yeah, last time I me baha I said 2 weeks ago and I said 3 weeks ago. Kwa mbeka me baha no. Na fits for a prediction be. Fits.
Yeah, also my prediction said.
No, my prediction be say, sir, Strait of Hormuz in somewhere could cost petroleum prices and shut down Kagana Kesi.
Yeah. Yeah.
One would just want to say, price of gold, you know, by close of the year, we do $4,800 per ounce.
Until we can rely on that.
And no, and at the fact that Ghana is a net producer of crude oil near the balance here. At back socket here. Kwame, because I want to say, now if by the end of the year, no gold price now loosen your more predicting now. Because we are not in control of the gold price. They determine gold price. That is how I want to see the economy. Me, my dream with dear. Minyayanka, Ghana, and no more ye war, a good year ye war, ye Japadia ye war near Diano. It will belong to us. Now, you are exploiting for the benefit of the people of Ghana. That's the only way out of this economy. Meanwhile, no, MPP abanyo, NDC abanyo, obian for a program beto wa, it will make us masters, controllers of our natural resources and the sole beneficiary of the exploitation of our natural resources. That is the problem.
And on that problem, I am starting to wrap up.
Oh, Kwame, chairman.
But one man, your chairman. Into what hand the man, your chairman? Set me, oh, your chairman.
Kwame, Randy up.
My poor Monana, because.
Because I was here Randy up. What's not our dream?
Debbie, Miss me na me Randy up. Me can't say yang.
Oh, no, my answer Randy up, not if you were Randy up
here. Into me, 1 minute, I then, Obeka. Obeka says so.
Oh, 1 day, sir.
Aha, there you go. Into the me around here.
Mammy, 2, sir.
They are not mommy 5.
Me too.
Kwesi, Emma's speech be.
Saturday
demonstration against Bank of Ghana.
Mimi demonstration against Bank of Ghana.
Now, because I won't see. Won't see me Cassani. Marcus Walker demonstration. Me say,
demonstration.
I don't have because I won't hear 70 years. Kwesi Pratt. But me say, Kwesi Ukoma speech. But they don't no free. And the money be our kind. Now the subwork is here by Bank of Ghana on losses. But today me no free. Well, now Kwesi can say controversy bar. You need a neutral body. Na parliament here was a say. Kwesi Ubekai. Gold board in some by in SU. Parliament in Yeshim. It is our parliament here was a say with the majority and Krofui way. They are not interested in accountability and transparency. So, in Parliament would have been the best platform, but God board in Shishemu also company me. Radia China Gomasa announced big profits. Yan Shishem Sunny who said I buy and so Musi Debbie. Nti baby I won't request it. And sa inflation because I'm the same one because I'll cancer statistical average. So and you spend this CKP Bank of Ghana government after government to control inflation and now to bring the value of the dollar down. But Kwame, yes, I may free TTO. Yenne. To be honest, oh man, inflation number, and then the first time inflation single digit. And then the first time.
But we are the lowest in a long time.
But then the first time, single digit is a yenye biacha. But
3.3,
I say single digit.
Single digit.
And I'm saying but this is the lowest. We're the lowest in a long.
Fine, yeah. But we are not single digit, 7%, 6% na
but 3.2 there.
But
3.3 there.
Problem in the sense, and I didn't know me a mangina. You man as a cost, you're not single digit either. Na cost CD, ne one din a page na bafom. I yo swing. Tell me so I don't say up and down.
No, 2 minutes national.
Emre do say yenye niema ebetimi ama inflation na bafom.
Na akaho.
Ne be ma dollar no bo na bafom na CD ne nya hodin ma akaho. That make sense. Nti sa sikaya yedi your friend open market operations dollar now a cost near the dollar kakra kuchim dollar now say near yes sterilization near the inflation and yes sustainable yen call into Kwesi Podosi Ghana for we should take control me put there you have to go into production tebe nema dollar yi boy a cost de bia na si na wodin ba fom na nema bo cost if say nema na ye kra ne doso sugar Yankupon your factory and also intimate operating. And yet this is open market operations. Almost more than $1 billion. Chicken. Chicken I crow if you are butchery, but also by far than you can't touch that area. Enti yan hwe niema e betimi aya e be masidi na ho oden no ejina ho.
Nana ko me ma me na ase.
Kwa me da ase.
Ebuja ben obaka say 2 minutes and also upon.
Oh, men so me kasa 3 minutes said ya okay na.
Me say 2.
Now come nya the post so obaka say 3.
Na ko be as of ya.
What is through na time?
Okay. Bravo ame.
Yeah.
Me da say na in something nyina dem say yakwa na ya se abesi kwankoro so. He say na ko me a can be say ye momodi say inflation no. Ye betumi ye maintain no. Say be ye lowest. Nti dey say ye nkura ye nyina ye mbasa nyina adwene ahia. Na omo na o kan ho asebe no open market operations no enu wa na yeguso yi nti ye hwe say Bank of Ghana koye biribi na bia won sikasem wo de betugua ye nya se de beka so won aboka nana na maintain this
omo aso maboka
o de ate se de o person wo kan ye nka de sa say wo bebu modi aye na emum inflation e beba from so be kan ya Professor Mills time inflation about 34 months lowest single digit ye nya bi wo kuro mu amani mu da be pem sa abre ye mompai na me kan kire na na akome ahye won etie ne minority MPP fun kuran say enamri import cover ye wo mani mu ye nya kura no ye nya about 13.8 billion for 6 months in import cover say emergency bi eto ye wo mani ma ye betumi di aboa ye ho ye nhye won a ye hwe ye nsikasem so ato force in the Bank of Ghana monyere wo ho no momodin say sa de ye be ko nani
say import cover ni ai
13.8 billion mpirempire ya me na okasai ya ye nyanen
which is the Bank of Ghana reserves.
Yes.
Reserve no now can
Reserves
There be import cover.
Import cover there has to be a period.
No, but
Nana ko me abi tutu na emu so.
Praying
Until you have 4 months of import cover.
6 months.
5 months.
Mrs. 6 months.
As okay,
6 months, yes. And the finance minister can say on my home kwang by next 2028, you know, you bet me about 15 months of import cover.
Some bamba to 9.1.
You bet to 9.1, and also now 2 to 3 months.
And I'm not on gold.
Yes, gold and yet to be a couple. And the background,
gold no dia.
Yes, they are tiny.
And Pacha we shopping in no. Me why? In no.
Bravo,
yo.
Near Kwesi kaya me del back on the show. What's a young moment na ye natural resources na ye wono. Ye mo ho ban. Kaya magana fo. To be managing well done for Ibrahim Mama. Now we are in Saka, Diamond D. No to be mobilizing, you know, 1 Fabian Quaman on it, and no Diama Bang and Watonga Magana Bang. I'm a sick woman and your dollars. And you see this in Primpringi and a tick room her. In Tim Fasu Biara Babano. And we have many brackets here. See, we are promoting the baby Camonia de Nina in the idea. Okay, Camoman. Near Ponetti Doma, Nana Fiaso, and as of Fiaso. Ni Ibrahim Mama be ye nyina no sesi kani nyina betai ha ye hwehwa afufuro ne ye mfa hye won sasa sadia edrimu hwe no won ani ehwamo mahama asem ne say big push no nki ye de magana fo titiriw won atumi aye ho adwuma enne road minister bu akofu contractor ba ko ye Ghana ni say wo de adwuma ma no over 6 months di ye ko ho na ground zero ye hwe say Ghana fo no so ye de adwuma no hye won sa obetumi execute na ma yegyina
me da se Kwesi yampo ana o
me de 2 seconds kra na me de ka ho kwa
me je Kwesi
kwami da man so mo ye Ibrahim Mahama so mo ye ke da no yi da pe ye twam me hu se Ibrahim Mahama odi asida kese pa e ma na akufo ado so ono na obo anu manya da man mans into the months no yenhwe na ankoye MPP versus NDC
na yawe ti onya de obeka
because me te pass Ibrahim Ahmad as that kese pa de man na Akufo-Addo so board bo anu a odi konya da months
Ghana for boy
so you down to
open Ghana for boy
no any water in na
open Ghana for boy
oh na
eti Kwesi we see inflation no electricity den kan ho
enti nana
bibi sa electricity kan ho ana nkan ho
pato wo na bisa masemo What can say figures now statistical service the buy and then the statistical service because statistical service inflation you're reducing it to 3.3%. That's the last figure I saw.
Yes.
Where we? That's all.
Where we?
Kwame. Yes.
Now, Kwesi can be who mean can't say statistical service figures now wrong. Maka.
Debbie.
Oh, Kwame no bisa me say. Na sikai a kapia Bank of Ghana ko boy. Almost see in Suansuano a year. If some inflation about 3.5. Nam see you, Mati. Na ankran to say me ne wono. Sa 3 a car ya bought to bring inflation to 3.5. You know, how does it affect us?
And I can say basket we use for inflation. And you be a bit.
But then you one item per number. Maybe. Okay. And mean can't say statistical service normal can and crime cancer. Okay. See, I'm looking at the if because who come beside me. So I almost say a can because you can't car Bank of Ghana abo. And as I can me be trail. And I'm see I can no boy, you know. I might a name my boy. Send a name my boy cost room. I reduce it to 3.5. It may share near my boy because when you're home for swat. Na because we menya home for so ultimate me tree aka
ba niam na wo hwe ne bo no e wo basket na statistical service use here there
meba ma bo electricity
okay me nim basket me nim ne
ma bo water
nsuo ne kania
rent
me hu eno
hwe me titashi chamber and hall tashi na yet 1000 cedis busome me driver titashi
okay
2025, you have to call 1,200 cities. That's 20%. 20%. Seminar me medicine ya my sunlight. Me papa free school mremunya me percent. Also pay well. Okay. Mati. Kwesi le minimum to seminar this in but
don't touch me.
Oh boy.
Na nu kwa say kwa bi o. Sana person to a catch ro. Nana, I patch your NDC form.
Kwesi you don't touch me. Remember the sunlight ni see me there.
Nana NDC form.
Open your house so the sunlight ni see me there. Kwame.
Nana.
Last month, sunlight soap na 5 cedis in tono. Last week, Miko Akotobi, 7 cedis. That's about 40% increase. So, sachet water. NAI. Sachet water. Check it. Transport fares. And then Accra to Kumasi. VIP, which is the largest transport company in this country, from 120 to 150. Check the percentage. So, into bisa say, a car yakobo two way. Me no betray. No musi o yebenya home for so inflation. Any CD na can count. Me share ground na. Ma bra bomunu me who impact no. Because Nyema Bobia Kosro is more than 3.5%. BBR. So, sa a CDA dollars here jina fa Kwame.
Yes.
Unim the immediate effect. Ema imports. AFO.
Niema ye crab.
Niema ye crab free a brochure eba AFO. Chen niema ye wa memo. Na me the import figures for the last quarter 2025 and export figures na meaning say o topic come but me for the amount. Import figures for last quarter 2025 against exports niema ye the brochure. You'll be shocked. And then so no Kwame omodi new BBB estimate be about potom say AI. I'm a port duties. A big cost row by 100%. Ana Kwame boa. Over 100% port duties. It is our port duties, yeah. Cost through by 100%, 50%. And then no bar. So I mean, no better.
Yeah.
It reflects in the prices. Now, Kwame, I'm a dream who said, it is our Bank of Ghana at the opening engine to 15 billion a kaya boy to bring the CD, the dollar from 14 to
14.7. Say, interbank is almost 12 cedis.
Kwame, the dollar any CD asemi. Duduona jina exports and imports over exports. Nyema ye cra. Any nyema ye ton amanone imbalance no. Nema demand because no obia ampe dollars so they go kotuni them. Ye $1 near their cra nyema anambwa. Check it. Akoko. Emo. Ni nsuo kra ye kra. Esitri. Kwame na me dream who say sa 15 billion so je openyi abusan penyi ni Bank of Ghana 15 almost 16 billion CDC. What do you say more than $1 billion?
Yeah, by Bank of Ghana standards.
Yeah, even Bank of Ghana raised more than $1 billion. Now me dream who say Yakoya Sugar Factory or Commander $30 million. Yentimi Emma sa factory ni juma. You see, she says you're saying another 20 was 30 million. Near the outgrowers. Or maybe GSC train. Nansana factory na juma. Better ne factory biano 2016. John Muhammad Kobiano.
Tell him says our factory and be.
But because you need outgrowers new.
Yeah.
Yes, here another 20 to 30 million to organize the outgrower. Kwame, sugar ye import to Omemuha bear $100 million. Afibia. Tiana me dream who say, hey, Nintisa over $1 billion year. Yadi open market operations, they are support to $1. Senka yadi a bit ye pay kakrabe 30-40 bidi ko ye outgrow ama ashidi buyer. Senka factory be ye juma man kia save $100 million.
Well,
and in can count.
Nana.
Inti Kwame.
Medasi.
Because unimre, but depending on baby Ujina, Bank of Ghana here 15. Meanwhile, Omar Soma report to say in other income almost sign losses. But I know the almost can operating loss no. Yeah, say as out the count because in a loss.
In January 44.
Now almost time ton gold. Gold near there 200 Japadia no almost a ton. And so munya 9 billion. We no so free more. This loss no call. 44 because gold no more turn on the counting. Omunya 15.8 you know. What did you count one? But Pam no tram no. The impact on the ordinary Ghanaian. Now we can sure say. Sikad ya spendi kaya bo gudi say the year inflation say the year dollar. And also so on say still a nearma boy cost for uncranked is a menu quad on almost anything. A bro, sa 3.5.
Now, Abigail says something is really not adding up, Chairman General. Old Squadron says long talk, no fiber. This one says they are always talking about rice and oil. Yesterday in the market, a small tuber of yam, Pona, was 70 cedis. I'd like to know, sir, Kaina at saying, I say about 70 cedis. If the economy is good, why are workers' allowances due them since last year not being paid? What kind of good economy is this? And then this one from Eric Amponsabwati, tax expert, says, I have listened to the opinions of Professor Bokping, Joe Jackson, and Professor Gachi. One clear point is that Bank of Ghana made a loss in 2025. and that has always been the case. What has changed is the fact that BOG mopped up excess liquidity from the market instead of leaving it so that then commercial banks can take advantage of it and make money. That would have led to an increase in GDP, and so I think the Bank of Ghana should let the forces of demand and supply determine the actual value of the cedi. Eric Ponsa Boateng, tax expert. On paper, the picture of our economy looks very good to the eyes and sounds sweet to the ears. In reality, we are found wanting. We are not being told the truth. Odeshi Ajabeng in Hacho.